"You don't belong here. Leave now." The bank manager's venomous words cut through the silence, striking Amara Jefferson, a black CEO, in Elite Trust Bank's elite lounge. Branded a fraud for her race and casual attire, she endures scorn from a prejudiced staff, their eyes blind to her truth. She owns the bank. With one call, Amara unleashes a storm, firing the entire branch team and exposing their systemic bias. This isn't just a withdrawal, it's a battle to shatter injustice. Can one woman topple a toxic empire? Stay for a saga of courage that'll ignite your heart and demand justice. The storm of injustice, heralded by the venomous command to leave Elite Trust Bank's elite lounge, still echoes in Amara Jefferson's heart as she steps into the polished sanctuary of privilege. The air, scented with cedar and wealth, carries a chill that no marble floor or crystal chandelier can warm. Amara, a black CEO whose empire, Pinnacle Holdings, commands $12 billion, enters in chinos and a linen blouse, her attire a deliberate test of integrity. Her mother's mantra, "Your truth is your crown," steadies her as she requests a $7 million withdrawal. Her tablet, a quiet shield. Yet the lounge, a gilded fortress, is about to unveil its hidden bias. A serpent coiled beneath its sheen. The lounge hums with soft jazz, its granite floors gleaming under recessed lights. Amara approaches the reception, her voice calm as a summer dawn. "Good morning. I'd like access to the private lounge for a withdrawal." The teller, a young man with a nervous smile, nods, directing her to a glass-partitioned room. But as she settles into a cream-leather chair, the harmony fractures. Claire Donovan, the branch manager, strides over, her auburn hair swaying, her eyes cold as winter stone. "We'll need proof of your fund's origin," she says, her tone flat, her gaze a silent accusation. "This lounge is for premier clients." Amara, unshaken, opens her tablet, her fingers poised. "Of course," she replies, her voice a river over rock. Claire's skepticism, a blade unsheathed, sharpens as she leans closer. "Your name?" she demands, as if Amara's presence is a riddle unsolved. "Amara Jefferson," she answers, noting the white client across the room, sipping espresso, faces no such scrutiny. "And you're certain you're authorized?" Claire's words drip with doubt, a venom subtle yet searing. Amara slides her tablet forward, displaying her account. "Quite certain." Claire's smile tightens, a mask slipping, as she retreats without offering the coffee served to others. The slight, a needle in dignity's fabric, pricks Amara's heart, stirring memories of rejection at 25, a loan denied despite ample collateral. At 27, an account frozen for unusual success. In the lounge's shadowed corner, a conspiracy brews. Claire, unseen, confers with private banker Ethan Ward, his whisper a hiss of prejudice. "That woman in the lounge, check her thoroughly. We've a priority client arriving." Ethan, his suit crisp, nods, his ambition tethered to Claire's favor. Their target, Amara, whose black-led Pinnacle Holdings threatens their world of inherited privilege. The lounge, a stage of power, prepares to cast her out. Amara, absorbed in her tablet, reviews her Charlotte proposal, each figure a promise to reshape banking. But the air shifts, a storm gathering. Ethan approaches, his sneer unveiled. "That amount doesn't add up," he says, loud enough for heads to turn. "You could have stolen it." His words, shrapnel in the silence, draw gasps. Victoria Hale, a white client in a tailored blazer, joins the fray, her voice dripping scorn. "Don't clog the line, dear," she says, flicking Amara's tablet to the floor with a thud, a deliberate insult. Amara's gaze, steady as a lighthouse, meets hers. "Careful," she says, her tone a quiet thunder. Clients whisper, phones poised, as the lounge becomes a crucible of judgment. Claire returns, her voice a gavel. "You're not verified. Leave, or I'll call security." The threat, a lash of power, silences the jazz. Amara, her heart stung but unbowed, recalls Atlanta's Vine City, where her mother worked 3 jobs to crown her dreams. "Run my name," she says, measured, unyielding. Claire scoffs. "This isn't a charity." A young black client, Jada Monroe, grips her phone, her eyes blazing solidarity. Marcus Tate, a black entrepreneur, rises, his voice low. "Sister, let's use words, not clips." Amara nods, her gaze a beacon. "Facts, not footage," she says, dialing Lena Harper, her assistant. "Lena, start Protocol 8. The lounge, now a courtroom of conscience, hums with tension. Nia Carter, a black paralegal, stands, her voice trembling but clear. "She's not the issue." "You are," she says, pointing at Claire and Ethan. Victoria laughs, cruelly. "You think she has 7 million here? Try the pawn shop." She slides a note across the floor. "Pawn shops nearby," gasps Ripple. An elderly client clutching her purse, a Latino father glancing up. Amara's voice rises, still composed. "You're unraveling this bank with every word." Claire smirks, savoring her throne. "You're a con artist. Play rich elsewhere." Amara, her crown unyielding, speaks into her phone. "Lena, escalate. They've chosen their path." The lounge, a gilded cage, tightens its bars, but Amara stands firm. Her truth, a flame against the cold. Claire, Ethan, and Victoria, blind to her power, have lit a fuse. Jada's nod, Marcus's words, Nia's stand. These are sparks of solidarity, kindling a reckoning. Amara, forged in struggle, holds her ground, her mother's light a guide. This injustice, raw and public, is but the prelude. A storm brews, and Amara Jefferson will be its architect. Before diving into the story, please clearly state your city or country of residence in the comments section. Your feedback is the driving force for our development. Best wishes. From Asia. The storm of prejudice, unleashed in the polished lounge where Amara Jefferson faced venomous scorn, now gathers force, as her calm resolve ignites a seismic shift with the bank manager's cruel command. "You're a con artist. Leave." Still ringing, Amara stands unbowed, her mother's crown of truth gleaming within. Her call to Lena Harper, activating Protocol 8, has set a reckoning in motion. This is no mere clash of words, but a battle where strategic power, wielded with precision, will dismantle the fortress of bias. The lounge, a crucible of injustice, is about to witness Amara's empire strike back, its foundations trembling under her unyielding will. The air thickens, jazz fading into a tense hum as Amara's voice, steady as a lighthouse, cuts through. "Lena, confirm my status." Lena's reply, crisp through the phone, lands like a gavel. Amara Jefferson, CEO of Pinnacle Holdings, owner of 85% of this bank. The lounge freezes, Claire Donovan's smirk crumbling, her auburn hair framing a face drained of color. Ethan Ward's sneer falters, his suit no shield against truth. Victoria Hale, her blazer crisp, steps back, her pawn shop note now a shameful relic. Amara's gaze, a quiet thunder, sweeps the room. "You questioned my place. Now, let me clarify yours." Clients gasp, phones lowering, as Amara's authority dawns. Nia Carter, a paralegal, whispers, "She's the owner?" Marcus Tate, an entrepreneur, nods, his voice low. "This changes everything." Amara's heart, stung by slurs, now surges with purpose. She recalls her journey. From Atlanta's Vine City, where her mother's 3 jobs fueled her dreams, to a 25-year-old entrepreneur denied loans despite flawless plans. 18 months ago, she acquired this bank, vowing to purge its prejudice. Each acquisition, each billion, was a brick in her empire, built to uplift those erased. Now, in this lounge, that mission ignites. "Lena, log their language," Amara commands. Claire's con artist, Ethan's stolen funds, Victoria's pawn shop. Protocol 8 is active. Lena's voice, a lifeline, confirms. Logged. Compliance boards monitoring. Your termination authority is greenlit. Amara turns to Claire, her tone a blade. Claire Donovan, you're fired for racial bias, abuse of power, and client obstruction. Claire's mouth opens, soundless, her throne shattered. Ethan Ward, terminated for fabricating risk reports and inciting false accusations. Ethan staggers, his ambition dust. Owen Pratt, dismissed for complicity. Your silence as damning as their words. Owen's head bows, guilt etched deep. Priya Khan, security lead, shifts. Her badge dim. Priya, you're fired for intimidation and unlawful detainment. Amara says, her voice unyielding. Priya's eyes widen, but she nods, stepping back. Victoria, clutching her purse, scoffs. You can't touch me. I'm a client. Amara's gaze pierces. Victoria Hale, banned from all Pinnacle institutions for harassment and racism. Your accounts are frozen. Victoria's blazer sags, her sneer gone as clients murmur, some clapping softly. The lounge, once a cage, now a stage, hums with justice's pulse. Amara's power, a river breaking dams, flows from years of resilience. She recalls a frozen account at 27, a bank's high-risk label despite her success. Each slight forged her. Her mother's words, your worth is your armor, a shield. Now, she wields that armor. Her ownership, a sword. Lena's voice returns. Compliance records show 10 buried complaints, all minorities. Claire signed off. Ethan flagged them. Amara nods, her heart heavy but fierce. Expose it all. The lounge, a crucible, burns with truth. Clients like Jada Monroe watching. Her phone still. Her eyes alight. Nia steps forward, voice trembling. You're rewriting this bank. Marcus adds, and showing us how to fight. Amara's lips curve, a faint smile. This isn't my fight alone, it's ours. The applause grows, not performative, but raw. A chorus of shared pain and hope. Claire, Ethan, and Victoria, their fortress razed, stand exposed, their bias a smoldering ruin. Amara, her crown unbowed, has unleashed her empire's might, not for vengeance, but for justice. The lounge, now a beacon, awaits the next strike as truth's tide rises, unstoppable. Dear listeners, are you eating on time today? A nourished body fuels a fierce spirit, like Amara's stand. Share in the comments. Have you ever faced a moment where your worth was questioned? Your voices strengthen us. The thunder of Amara Jefferson's strategic power, having raised the fortress of bias with her swift firings and ownership reveal, still reverberates in the now hushed lounge of Elite Trust Bank. The air, once thick with prejudice, now carries a fragile hope, kindled by Amara's unyielding stand as Pinnacle Holdings CEO. Yet, as Claire Donovan, Ethan Ward, and their allies reel from their downfall, Amara turns from retribution to revelation. Her mother's wisdom, truth, is your crown, guiding her hand. This is no moment for fleeting spectacle, but a crucible where evidence, forged in words, will outshine virality, crafting a shield of justice that prejudice cannot pierce. The lounge, its granite floors reflecting soft jazz's fading notes, pulses with tension. Amara, her linen blouse a quiet contrast to the room's opulence, holds her phone, a conduit for truth. Lena, she says, her voice a steady river. Log every word. Claire's con artist, Ethan's stolen funds, Victoria's pawn shop. Ensure compliance has it all. Lena Harper, her assistant's voice crisp through the speaker, replies, Logged, Amara. I've flagged Ethan's false police call. Time stamped at 10:23 a.m. audits live. Clients, their phones poised, murmur. But Amara's gaze finds Jamal Ellis, a young black tech founder clutching his device. Jamal, she says, firm yet warm. Speak, not film. Words, not lenses, will carry this day. Jamal hesitates, his phone glowing with the urge to record. This needs to be seen, he says, voice low. Amara's eyes, a lighthouse in the storm, hold his. It needs to be heard. Truth doesn't need filters. Jamal lowers his device, nodding, as Marcus Tate, an entrepreneur, adds, "She's right. Clips fade. Facts endure." The lounge, a courtroom of conscience, shifts, clients' whispers softening. Jada Monroe, a young black artist seated near a frosted glass divider, stands, her denim jacket trembling with resolve. "They did it to me too," she says. Her voice a fragile flame. "Last month, I tried opening a business account. Ethan refused to verify said my income was unstable." Gasps ripple. A Latina client's eyes widening with shared pain. Amara steps closer, her tone gentle but steel. "Jada, tell us all." Jada's voice strengthens. "He flagged my application as ineligible, said freelancers don't belong here. I left. Humiliated." Lena's voice cuts through, sharp. "Found it, Amara." Jada's complaint, buried by Ethan, signed off by Claire. 1 of 10, all minorities, dismissed as unverified. The lounge stills, Claire's face ashen, Ethan's hands trembling. Amara's heart, stung by Jada's pain, surges with purpose. "Jada," she says, placing a hand on her shoulder, "your account opens today, fee-free. You belong." Nia Carter, a paralegal, rises, her voice a clarion call. "This isn't one incident. It's a system." She points at Claire. "You buried Jada's truth, like you tried to bury Amara's." Claire scoffs, but her defiance cracks. "Protocol," she mutters. Amara's gaze pierces. "Protocol doesn't erase people." Lena's voice returns, relentless. "Audits deeper now. 10 complaints, 8 against women of color, 2 against Hispanic men." Ethan's voice on 3 recordings, dismissing clients as risks based on appearance. Ethan staggers, his suit a hollow shell. "I followed orders," he mumbles, but the lounge's murmurs drown him, a tide of outrage rising. Amara's phone, a beacon of evidence, hums with Lena's updates. "Compliance boards reviewing live," Lena says. Claire's record shows 12 prior warnings, never escalated. Ethan's flagged for altering reports. Amara nods, her mother's crown gleaming within. She recalls Atlanta's Vine City, where her mother's sacrifices 3 jobs, endless nights taught her to document every slight. Each rejection, each frozen account, was a lesson. Evidence is power. Now, in this lounge, that power shines, each logged word a brick in Justice's wall. An elderly white client, his badge glinting, whispers, "She's rewriting the rules." A young Asian couple nods, their hands clasped, inspired. The lounge, once a gilded cage, now breathes with truth's weight. Jada's courage, Nia's defiance, Marcus's support, these are threads in Amara's tapestry, woven with evidence, not spectacle. Claire, her throne shattered, mutters, "You can't prove intent." Amara's voice, a quiet thunder, replies, "Your words prove it. Every slur, every dismissal logged forever." Ethan's eyes dart to Victoria, seeking rescue, but her silence betrays her. The lounge, a crucible, burns with clarity, clients' phones now still, their voices rising. Amara, her crown unbowed, holds the evidence that will shatter silence, a shield no bias can breach. This moment, born from a $7 million request, is no fleeting flare. Amara's evidence, Lena's logs, Jada's story, buried complaint stands as a monument to truth, outshining viral shadows. Claire and Ethan, their fortress crumbling, face a reckoning not of cameras but of words. Each one a hammer striking prejudice's chains. The lounge, now a beacon, awaits the next wave. As Amara's truth, patient and fierce, prepares to reshape the bank's soul. Justice, forged in evidence, will not be silenced. The shield of evidence, forged by Amara Jefferson's unyielding resolve and Lena Harper's meticulous audit, has cracked the facade of prejudice in Elite Trust Bank's private lounge. With 10 buried complaints exposed, each a wound inflicted on minority clients, Amara's stand as Pinnacle Holdings CEO transforms the space from a gilded cage into a crucible of truth. Yet as Claire Donovan and Ethan Ward reel from their exposure, a new force rises, not from one voice, but many. Guided by Amara's mother's crown, truth binds us. This lounge becomes a tapestry of collective solidarity, where clients and bystanders weave their courage into a reckoning that bias cannot withstand. The lounge, its granite floors dim under faltering jazz, pulses with raw emotion. Amara, her linen blouse a quiet defiance, holds her phone, Lena's voice a lifeline. "Compliance has the complaints," Lena says, her tone sharp. Ethan's on tape dismissing Jada's account as unstable. Claire signed off. Jada Monroe, the young black artist, stands, her denim jacket trembling but her voice aflame. "He humiliated me," she says. Eyes locked on Ethan. "Said I didn't belong." Nia Carter, a paralegal, rises beside her, her voice a clarion call. "You buried her truth, Ethan. You buried all of us." The lounge stirs, clients' whispers swelling into a chorus of outrage. Claire, her auburn hair framing a crumbling smirk, scoffs. "It's protocol, not prejudice." But Marcus Tate, an entrepreneur, steps forward, his voice low, resonant. "Protocol doesn't erase people, Claire. You did." His words, a hammer on glass, shatter the silence. Amara's heart, heavy with Jada's pain, lifts as solidarity blooms. She recalls Atlanta's Vine City, where her mother's 3 jobs taught her community's strength. "Speak," Amara urges, her gaze a beacon. "Let them hear you." An elderly white client, her badge glinting, nods. "This isn't right," she says, her voice quivering but clear. A young Asian couple, hands clasped, add, "We've seen it too." The lounge, now a courtroom of conscience, trembles as voices rise. Owen Pratt, the assistant manager, shifts, his guilt a shadow. "Ethan planned it," he mutters, eyes on the floor. "He told me to flag complaints as duplicates, to keep the numbers clean." Gasps ripple, Ethan's face ashen. "You liar!" Ethan snaps, but Owen's voice hardens. "I was there. You said it'd shut them down fast." Claire's eyes dart, her throne eroding. Amara's voice, steady as a river, cuts through. "Owen, you stood silent. That's complicity." Owen nods, head bowed as Nia shouts, "You're all complicit. You built this system." The double doors swing open, police boots echoing on granite. 2 officers, one a weary black woman, enter. Summoned by Ethan's false report. "Fraud attempt reported," she says, her gaze sweeping the room. Ethan points at Amara, his voice shrill. "She's impersonating a client, demanding $7 million. Amara steps forward, her crown unbowed. "I'd like a full report, not arrests," she says, her tone a quiet thunder. "This is about truth, not handcuffs." The officer nods, her notepad ready. "Go on." Amara's de-escalation, a masterstroke, shifts the lounge from chaos to clarity, her mother's wisdom binding the moment. Jada, emboldened, faces the officers. "They profiled me too." Ethan buried my complaint. A Latino father, his toddler at his side, rises. "They flagged my business loan as risky last year." Same excuse. The lounge erupts. Clients, clapping, their solidarity a tide. Victoria Hale, her blazer sagging, sneers. "You're all dramatic." But her voice drowns in applause, a black teen's shout. Amara's "Our hero," ringing clear. On X, his post spreads, "Elite bias exposed," trending with 200,000 mentions. A digital echo of the lounge's roar. Ethan, cornered, crumbles, his voice breaking. "I buried 10 complaints," he confesses, tears falling. "Claire told me to keep the branch clean. I thought I'd lose my job." The lounge stills, his regret a raw wound. Claire, her defiance shattered, mutters, "It was just business." Amara's gaze pierces. "Business doesn't humiliate. You chose prejudice." Nia, her eyes blazing, adds, You chose to erase us. Marcus steps beside her, his voice a drum, and we're done being erased. The officers scribble. They report a ledger of truth. As clients' voices, Jada's, Nia's, the father's, swave a tapestry of defiance. Amara, her heart soaring yet scarred, feels the lounge transform. Each voice, a thread in her mother's crown, binds the room. She recalls a loan denied at 27. Her mother's words, "Truth binds us," a lifeline. Now, these clients, from Jada's courage to the couple's quiet stand, embody that truth. The lounge, once a cage, breathes with solidarity. A beacon against bias. Claire and Ethan, their fortress raised, face a reckoning not of force, but of voices, each one a hammer striking silence's chains. Amara's evidence, now amplified by community, prepares to reshape the bank's soul. This moment, sparked by a false report, is no fleeting clash. Jada's story, Owen's betrayal, Ethan's confession, these are pillars of a new justice, built on solidarity, not spectacle. The lounge, a crucible, burns with clarity. Its clients no longer bystanders, but architects of change. Amara, her crown unyielding, stands at the center, her truth binding all who dare to speak. The officers, their report growing, bear witness to a system's fall. As collective courage, patient and fierce, claims its due. Justice, woven in voices, will not be silenced. Dear listeners, are you getting your 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night? Rest fuels your courage, just like Amara's allies need now. Share in the comments. Have you ever joined a fight against unfairness? Your stories inspire us. Before we continue, please share your city or country in the comments below. The collective solidarity that erupted in the elite trust bank's private lounge, a tapestry woven from the courageous voices of Jada Monroe, Nia Carter, and others, has transformed the space into a beacon of truth, exposing the deep-seated bias within its walls. With Ethan Ward's tearful confession and Owen Pratt's admission of complicity still echoing, Amara Jefferson, CEO of Pinnacle Holdings, stands as the architect of a new dawn. Her mother's crown truth binds us, now guides her from confrontation to creation, where justice is not merely punitive, but transformative. This lounge, once a crucible of prejudice, will become the cornerstone of a reformed institution, its legacy rewritten by Amara's unyielding vision. The lounge, its granite floors dim under the weight of revelation, breathes with purpose. Amara, her linen blouse, a quiet testament to her resolve, addresses the room, her voice a steady river over stone. Effective immediately, all branch operations cease, she declares, her words a gavel's strike. No transactions, no meetings, until we rebuild what this bank stands for. Clients, from the elderly woman to the Latino father, nod, their applause soft but resolute. Amara unveils the Pinnacle Equity Initiative, a 50-page blueprint for change. Verbal audits will track every word spoken, she says, her tone unyielding. Diversity pledges will bind every staff member. Retraining begins now. Quote, compliance officers, their clipboards rustling, enter, granting Amara full authority to lead the audit. Lena Harper's voice, crisp through the phone, confirms. Corporates approved, Amara. The initiative's live across all branches. Amara's gaze sweeps the lounge, landing on Priya Khan, the former security lead, who stands, her badge discarded, her voice trembling. I need to speak, Priya says, stepping forward. Ethan told me to profile clients look. By questions, I flagged 20 as risks, all minorities, no evidence. The lounge gasps, Nia's eyes blazing. You targeted us. Priya nods, shame etched deep. I followed orders. I want consequences, not excuses. Amara's heart, heavy with Priya's betrayal, softens at her accountability. You'll face them, she says, her voice firm but fair. But your truth strengthens our reform. Lena's voice cuts through. Found the list, Amara. 20 clients, 15 Black or Hispanic, Flagged falsely. Priya's name's on 12. The lounge stirs, Marcus Tate's voice rising. That's not a mistake. That's a system. Amara nods, her mother's wisdom a beacon. And we're dismantling it, starting here. She orders the list frozen, a forensic review launched. Each name a wound to heal. The lounge, now a reform hub, hums with possibility. Nia, a paralegal, volunteers to draft policy guidelines, her voice steady. Let's make this real, she says, her eyes alight. Jada, her denim jacket a badge of courage, offers to lead client workshops. I want others to feel seen, she says, her smile fragile but fierce. Amara's lips curve, a faint nod. You will. She recalls Atlanta's Vine City, where her mother's 3 jobs taught her to build, not just fight. Each loan denial, each frozen account, was a lesson. Justice is not revenge, but renewal. Now this lounge, once a cage, becomes a forge for change. Compliance officers spread documents, outlining verbal audits tracking slurs, omissions, and tone. No more hiding bias, Amara says, her voice a clarion call. Every word matters. An elderly client, her badge glinting, whispers, she's rewriting the bank's soul. A young Asian couple, hands clasped, nod, inspired. Lena reports, Claire's record shows 14 unaddressed warnings. Ethan altered 6 reports, corporates terminating their access. Amara's gaze hardens. Good, let truth clean house. The lounge, a crucible, burns with clarity. Clients no longer bystanders, but architects of equity. Priya, her confession raw, faces Amara. What now, she asks, her voice small. Amara's tone, firm yet forgiving, replies, you help us rebuild, testify, train, ensure this stops. Priya nods. A spark of redemption kindled. Marcus steps forward, his voice a drum. This isn't just for us. It's for every client who walked away shamed. Amara's heart swells, scarred by threats to her brother in Atlanta, yet soaring with purpose. Exactly, she says. We end the legacy of silence. The applause, not performative but raw, fills the lounge, a chorus of shared resolve. The Pinnacle Equity Initiative, a shield against bias, spreads beyond the lounge. Lena confirms. 5 branches are adopting audits, training with NAACP input. Amara's vision, rooted in her mother's crown, takes flight. She vows to fund minority grants through her foundation, a promise whispered in Atlanta's streets. The lounge, now a beacon, hosts its first workshop, Jada's voice guiding clients. Claire and Ethan, their fortress razed, fade into consequence, their bias a smoldering ruin. Amara, her crown unyielding, stands at the center, her reform a tapestry of inclusion, woven to ensure no one is erased again. This moment, born from a $7 million request, is no fleeting victory. Priya's confession, Nia's resolve, Jada's courage, these are pillars of a new bank, built on truth, not silence. The lounge, a forge, shapes a future where dignity is not questioned, but enshrined. Amara's evidence, amplified by solidarity, has sparked a movement, its ripples reshaping an industry. Justice, not punitive but transformative, claims its due, a legacy that will outlast the granite beneath their feet. The bank, reborn, breathes with equity's promise, a testament to those who dared to speak. The transformative justice, ignited by Amara Jefferson's Pinnacle Equity Initiative, has reshaped the elite trust bank's private lounge into a forge of renewal, where verbal audits and diversity pledges now stand as pillars against prejudice. With Priya Khan's confession and the collective courage of clients like Jada Monroe and Nia Carter still resonating, Amara, CEO of Pinnacle Holdings, turns from reform to reflection, her mother's crown. Your worth is your armor, a guiding light. This is no mere moment of triumph, but a testament to resilience, where dignity, unbowed by humiliation, becomes the steel that drives enduring change. The lounge, once a crucible of bias, now cradles Amara's unbroken spirit. The lounge, its granite floors softened by fading jazz, breathes with quiet resolve. Amara, her linen blouse a quiet defiance, stands amid clients, her gaze a lighthouse. She recalls Atlanta's Vine City, where her mother's 3 jobs wove a shield of perseverance. At 25, a loan officer branded her high risk despite flawless collateral. At 27, a frozen account mocked her success. Each slight, a lash against her worth, forged her dignity, her mother's words a mantra. Your armor is your truth. Now, facing Claire Donovan's slurs and Victoria Hale's scorn, Amara's composure disarms. Her voice a steady river. You tried to erase me, she says, but I'm still here. Clients stir, their applause a soft tide. Jada, her denim jacket a badge of courage, whispers, You gave me strength. Amara's hand rests on her shoulder, her tone warm. You had it all along. Speak it, Jada nods, her voice rising. I won't be silenced again. Nia, a paralegal, adds, You showed us how to stand. Amara's heart, scarred by threats to her brother, swells with pride. She empowers their voices, her dignity a beacon, kindling resilience in others. Marcus Tate, an entrepreneur, murmurs, She's our mirror, reflecting what we can be. A voice, raspy and weighted, breaks the hush. Harold Winston, a retired banker in a pressed suit, stands, his hands trembling. I trained Claire, he confesses, his voice a cracked bell. We used client fit, suitability code for bias. I built this system. The lounge stills, gasps echoing. Amara steps closer, her gaze gentle but piercing. Why speak now? Harold's eyes glisten. Your stand, your voice, it shamed me. I never used mine. Amara's tone, firm yet forgiving, replies, Then use it now. Help us rebuild. Harold nods, offering to reform training, his redemption a spark kindled by her resilience. Amara's spirit, forged in Atlanta's struggles, shines unbowed. She recalls a bank's sneer at her first million, her mother's crown a shield. Now in this lounge, her dignity disarms Claire's taunts, Ethan's lies, Victoria's arrogance. You mocked my worth, she says, her voice a quiet thunder. But it's stronger than your prejudice. The lounge, a forge, burns with clarity, client's eyes alight. An elderly woman whispers, She's unbreakable. A Latino father nods, his toddler asleep, inspired. Amara's resilience, a tapestry woven through years of slights, now threads through Jada's courage, Nia's defiance, Harold's shame. The lounge, once a cage, breathes with shared strength. Harold's confession, Jada's stand, Nia's resolve, these are embers of Amara's fire. Kindled by dignity, she reflects, her heart heavy yet soaring. The threats to her family a shadow, her mother's light a guide. This movement, sparked by a $7 million request, transcends one bank. Amara's armor, forged in struggle, empowers a lounge, a city, an industry. Claire and Ethan, their fortress razed, fade into consequence, their bias a ruin. Amara, her crown unyielding, stands as resilience incarnate, her dignity a flame that will not dim. Dear listeners, are you hitting your 30 minutes of daily exercise? Movement fuels your spirit. Just like Amara's resilience, from the unyielding resilience of Amara Jefferson, whose dignity transformed a lounge of prejudice into a forge of equity, a lasting legacy now rises, reshaping the soul of Elite Trust Bank. The Pinnacle Equity Initiative, sparked by her stand, has woven a tapestry of reform, its threads enduring beyond one confrontation, guided by her mother's crown. Your worth is your armor. Amara's vision blooms, a beacon for generations. This is no fleeting triumph, but a dawn where justice, rooted in truth, ensures dignity for all who enter these doors. In a bustling terminal, Amara, now the bank's guiding star, oversees branches reborn. Verbal audits and diversity pledges flourish nationwide. Jada Monroe's art business thriving, her account fee-free. The initiative inspires 5 banks, their anti-bias training a ripple of change. On X, equity and banking trends, 300,000 voices sharing tales of fairer service. Amara's foundation funds 50 minority entrepreneurs, their dreams a testament to her stand. The Lounge, once a cage, hosts workshops, Nia Carter's voice guiding clients. A symbol of renewal, Amara reflects, her heart full, as Jada's smile mirrors her mother's light. Wells Fargo, citing the Jefferson effect, adopts reforms, the industry shifting. In the Lounge, a full coffee cup served with respect seals her victory. Amara's legacy, forged in Atlanta's struggles, shines. A $7 million request, now a movement. The bank, its granite floors warm, breathes equity, a promise kept. No one will be erased again. Justice, enduring, soars, a crown for all. From the enduring legacy of reform, where Amara Jefferson's vision transformed Elite Trust Bank into a beacon of equity, we now pause to reflect on a journey that shattered prejudice and wove a tapestry of justice. The Pinnacle Equity Initiative, sparked by her unyielding stand, has reshaped an industry, its light reaching countless lives. Guided by her mother's crown, your worth is your armor. Amara's saga offers solace and strength, a call to carry her flame forward. Let us gather, dear listeners, in this quiet moment, to glean the lessons of her triumph and kindle our own resolve for a fairer world. Amara's path, forged through the venomous slurs of a bank lounge, heals our outrage with hope. The sting of Claire Donovan's con artist taunt, the weight of Ethan Ward's false accusations, and the threats to her brother, these scars remain. Yet her victories shine brighter. Jada Monroe's thriving business, Nia Carter's policy reforms, and fairer skies for all clients bear witness to her courage. This story, a mirror to our own struggles, teaches us to document injustice, each note a brick in truth's fortress. Like Amara's audit, log bias with precision, turning pain into power. Her evidence, Lena's logs, buried complaints became a sword against silence. A lesson for us to wield facts over fleeting spectacle. Use your influence, however humble, to demand equity. Amara's ownership of the bank empowered her firings. But your voice, your vote, your stand can shift workplaces, communities, lives. Reform systems, not just souls, to bar prejudice's return. Her verbal audits and diversity pledges show the way build structures where dignity thrives. Above all, hold resilience high, as Amara did, her composure a shield against Victoria Hale's scorn. Her mother's armor, forged in Atlanta's Vine City, steadied her. A reminder that dignity outlasts bias. Stand tall, dear listeners, your worth unbowed, even when the world seeks to dim your light. This saga, born from a $7 million request, is no mere tale. It's a challenge to rewrite the lounges of our lives, those spaces where bias festers. Share Amara's story on X. Let it spark courage in others. Comment your own battles against prejudice, each thread strengthening our collective fight. Support groups like Amara's Foundation. Their grants a bridge to equity for minority dreams. Act now, for every choice to confront bias lifts us higher, toward a world where no one is erased. Amara's light, kindled in struggle, now burns in us, a crown we all can wear. The Lounge, once a crucible of pain, now stands as a monument to justice. Its granite floors warm with inclusion. Amara Jefferson's stand, a single spark, has ignited a movement, its ripples endless. Dear listeners, carry this truth. Your voice, like hers, can shatter silence. Let justice soar, not as a hashtag, but as a legacy woven in every act of courage. Before we part, share your city or country in the comments below. Your voices fuel our journey. Warmest wishes from Asia.